Right, I've got Alicia's brand new car in here. Now, I've dropped about 500 bucks on Temu products, and today we're gonna test them out. We've got lights, we've got recovery gear, some tooling, some stuff that I just thought was really cool. And this stuff, suspiciously cheap, I'm not gonna lie. But if it works, we have saved a ton of money, and we're gonna test them out in today's episode and get some mods going on the new RC build. I'm gonna start by unboxing the rest of that stuff and then run you guys through what there is and how much I paid for it.
Proudly supported by Superior Engineering, iTech World, and in part by...
I'm gonna start with some tools because I love my tools, but right here I've got this adapter kit for your socket set, so it does all the different sizes that you need to adapt and its impact as well. This I'm actually really excited to test out. This is a set of pliers that is specifically for holding wires while you solder them, which has always been a pain. So you can put the wire in here, solder it together. Really good idea. Don't know how it's going to work yet, but we are going to test it out today. This is one of the mods that is going on Alicia's car. It is a slim light bar. I'm going to put this up the front. So far, looks really good quality. We've got 6 rock lights. If you don't know what they are, I'm going to install these today, but little lights that go underneath your car just to help you see at night when you're rock climbing on rocks. I'm going to put the price of everything up here on the screen somewhere. But yeah, these are great value at the price we paid. This mod here, I'm pretty keen for. I think this is a great idea, but you get a bracket that hooks around your tow bar and 2 of these lights that sit like that just to help you with reversing. So good mod to have at night time. We got a tow rope here. I don't know what the capacity is. I'll put that up on the screen, but I'm gonna be testing this thing out tomorrow and see how it does. We also got 4 soft shackles. Now these things at the shops are going for a lot of money, so you guys check that price out. Got these for a bargain. Also, when you're full driving, you always need air just to either blow the car out, pump the tires up. This also has a light on it, but this is a little air compressor. It's got a digital display. Keep that in your glove box or at your feet there. But yeah, keen to see how this works. 75 litres a minute, 12-volt air compressor. Got these quickie tire deflators. I've seen these floating around the internet from shops that are selling them for about 5 times the price we picked these up for. But there's 4 of these. You can set them to a desired pressure, let all 4 tires down at the same time, which is killer. These here are really cool as well. Positive and negative 250 amp bus bars. If you want to tidy up your wiring in your engine bay, run a mains power to this, pull all your accessories, winch, everything off of this. Really neatens up the engine bay. It's exactly what I did on Ron Burgundy. I paid a lot of money for mine in Ron Burgundy and they're not as good as these, so I will be swapping them out to these ones. I've been doing a lot of painting lately and I figured this was a really cool tool to have, but it is a moisture trap as well as a regulator. So while you're on the go painting, you can adjust the air pressure and then it catches moisture at the last point just before it gets to the gun. So when you're painting, extremely important, absolute steal of a price. Like check that price out, bloody bargain. I got some consumable riv nuts because you do pay quite a bit of money if you go down to the bolt shop for these. And for the price we picked these up for, I couldn't say no to them, and I do use these a lot with all of my full drive builds now. They're just super handy to have. They also did have packages that came with the tool for an extremely cheap price, but I've already got the tool, so just picked up the riv nuts themselves. Now all of these products combined added up to $380 in total, which is an absolute steal considering that some of these products on their own from other sellers are more than that just by themselves. Also, Temu have sponsored today's episode. They want to make these products a lot cheaper for you guys, and they also want to give you a $100 coupon voucher if you use the code that I'll put on the screen now. So all you have to do is open up the Temu app, type in the code that I have on the screen now and hit search. That will bring you to a $100 coupon voucher. It'll have all the products listed, and look, they're even giving 83% off that socket set right there. So you guys want to jump on this and claim that voucher, as well as take advantage of the cheaper prices of the products that I have listed. You can also scan this QR code that I have right here on the screen and it will take you to this link as well. So now that that's out of the way, I'm going to get to installing so we can test out these products. I'm going to start with the rock lights. I'm going to put one under each wheel well and light this thing up at night.
A few moments later.
Right, I've got 2 of the rock lights mounted. There's one right there. There's one in the middle of the sill there. And I'm just mounting this last one up in the wheel arch for this side. So you can see I've drilled 2 holes, and now I'm going to be using the rivet nut, which is one of the consumable things that I've bought. Basically that is going to go into that hole there. Squeeze, and that there leaves a thread so I can get the rock light all mounted up. So these things here already coming in handy. And then just like that, you've got a rock light up in there and it feels pretty good. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Teemu rock lights are all wired up, got everything done, little fuse on there. I've gone ahead and downloaded their app so you can see I've got the color wheel and all sorts of different settings. So I'm going to go flick the light off and then turn these on and see how they look. Right, so lights off, pretty dark in here. So you can see under there, they are nice and bright. They're working really well. The one on the ground, sort of at this back door. I couldn't get it in the middle. I had to put it back here, but still looks good. And then that one up in the wheel arch. Now you can go ahead and select any color like white, green, blue, purple. You know, we might even leave it on like a bit of a purpley color for Alicia there. Now these seem like a bit of a gimmick until you get off-road at night time. They're actually really good, especially when you pull up to camp. You can leave these running, they don't draw bugger all current, so you can leave it running all night, light up the whole perimeter of your car so you can just see where you're going. I think rock lights are a really good mod. Now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and mount this light bar up. Now this is gonna be super easy because this car already has a wiring harness for a spotlight, but they just took the spotlight out when they sold it to us. So that is going to go right about there and it's gonna look really nice and hopefully be nice and bright. Now the car's got a wiring harness suited for spotlights, which has a female Deutsch connector. I've actually got this male one here that I've cut and I'm gonna solder that onto our light bar just to make it super easy and plug and play. This is the perfect time to use these new soldering pliers to see how they go. Now I'm gonna start with these wide open and then put my wires in each side. So kind of pull these tabs back and stick the wire in kind of like that. And then I'll do that to the light bar as well. Now what we can do is just bring these together until we're happy with the length. God, that is actually so easy. I'm gonna pull that a little bit tighter. So you can see that is now holding the wire for me. I can go ahead and solder that and I won't have any troubles with it pulling apart. Gonna do the negative wire now. Super easy to set up, done already. Where this would really shine is underneath the dash of a car when you've got the spool of wires and you want to pull one out to, you know, just solder that wire or solder a wire into that wire. This would be a game changer under there. Only like $6 or $7, whatever we paid for it. Game changer. All right, the light bar in, super simple thanks to the wiring that was already there. But if I go ahead and try and hit the high beams, all right, that light bar is working. God, that is bright. That is pretty bright. I'm gonna turn the light off just to quickly see how bright it is. You can already see how much light that has put on that toolbox there. Holy crap. Light bar installed. Alicia's gonna love that driving at night now. She'll be able to light up the whole road. Now the last mod that is getting installed on the car is another set of lights. And trust me, there is a lot more on Temu than just lights, but it just happened so that we needed some lights, so we're installing some lights. This is actually the one that I'm probably the most excited for because it's really hard to see at night when you're reversing. And I had a little light on one of my patrols once and it was awesome. So I'm keen to see how this goes. I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty popular mod after this. Gone ahead, wired it up, got everything kind of loose and ready to rumble. So I think this is just going to go on like this. Doesn't look like it's actually going to fit. So I'm going to cut this bumper. Right, that is the reverse lights mounted up. Now I did have to do some massaging up here for them to fit, but they fit just. Wow, that is extremely bright. Turn the light off. Wow, look at that. Look how much better that is for reversing at night. This car also has a reverse camera, so that helps a ton. You can see how much light that is creating, how much extra light. These little bulbs here don't do much, especially when you got tint. But that is so much freaking brighter. Definitely worth the money, that one. Right, now it is actually nighttime and I do need to get this car out the front because we do need it first thing in the morning. So I'm gonna back it out. I'm gonna get Alicia to film, turn on all the lights and we can see what it looks like.
Yeah. God. It's so bright.
So we can't really test out the recovery rope because all my cars are broken and we can't take 2 cars out, but we're going to keep this in Alicia's car as a spare. The quality seems like it's really good. I'll be keen to test this out, as well as the soft shackles. Now, the reason that soft shackles are really good is they're really safe. So if you have a metal shackle, they can fly off and smash a window or hit someone. These are perfectly safe. If they break, they don't really, you know, they don't go flying. 4 soft shackles in Alicia's car plus the tow rope. One thing I want to test, and I'm also really excited to test, is these quickie tire deflator things. So these are pretty much a set and forget thing. So we're going to set these to PSI down to about 20. So you kind of set and forget it, whack it on, do all 4 tires at once. So we might try this out, then we're going to try and pump up the tires with the 12 volt air compressor. All right, so pretty much just screw these in. Where's the valve? Here. I think, yep.
That's pretty simple.
Just put it on and leave it, I think. I
Right.
suppose the biggest benefit to this is like when you rock up to like go forward riding with your mates, you
Or
just
even to the beach.
put these on and you can keep chatting. You don't have to save on the tyre. So it's actually a really good idea. So they're all on, we'll just let them go and see if they automatically shut off. And then I might gauge it on our gauge and see if it's actually at 20 PSI. Right, they've all pretty much stopped. That was about 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes, I think. Very close to anyway. So let's have a look. It's actually such a sick idea. Just set and forget. You know, with those quickie ones, you're constantly pulling it out and checking what it's going down to. It says 10 PSI.
Yeah, I reckon your bottom one is what you set it to, and then that top ring.
The top there, but I'm pretty certain now, because that looks a lot flatter than 20, pretty certain you would just set that one.
Yeah. So set the
20,
bottom
yeah.
one and then
set
tighten
the bottom
it.
one and lock the top one. Yeah, that makes more sense. So we are a bit flatter, but overall, I think that is honestly a really good idea. Definitely whack all 4 of these on just before you go up the beach, and you know, you could still have a yarn around your car, whatever you want to do, and all your tires will be the exact same pressure, and you don't need to sit there pulling that quickie thing on and off and checking your pressure all the time. So I like it. These are definitely staying in Alicia's car. I think they're awesome, so we'll put them aside. Now let's test out this little air compressor. This thing is mini. If you look at the size of it, it's very compact. It's got a digital gauge on the top. It's got a light on it as well.
It's pretty light too.
It's very light, so it's not going to be like a huge thing to carry around. So if this can pump up all 4 of these tyres and get them up to pressure, we are winning. So this just runs off the cigarette port, which is just here. So I'll plug that in. The digital display on here, so we can set the pressure. So we might set it at 36 and see what happens. I'm going to put a timer on this and see what we can get out of this.
Just remember the tyre pressure's lower than 20.
So you get a little LED light. It actually says on the top there that the tyre's at 7.5 PSI. Right, it is about to hit 36 at 16 minutes. Now that definitely was from dead flat, so it wasn't really a fair game for the compressor, but it at least done it. It's not hot at all, like not even in the slightest bit is that hot. So where I think this would really shine is blowing up your air toys like at Eli Creek on Fraser, for example, or even blowing up a footy or a blow up mattress or something like that. But definitely worth keeping that in the car and yeah, using that just when you need a little bit of air. It'd also probably be good to just blow the car out if you had like sand and stuff in there. So you give this a tick of approval?
Yep.
Now I feel like we didn't give this a fair chance because I had it set wrong. So I've just gone ahead and set this one in the right position. I'm going to try this out one more time. Excuse me. Get it, Diesel. Right, so we'll see how long that takes. That just pretty much stopped at 2:09, a little bit faster than that. I was late to the stopwatch, but that is really quick. And now let's check if it is actually at 20 PSI. Before it wasn't even registering on the gauge, just how flat it was. But this time, bang on. It's hard to see, I've got overspray on it, but it's bang on 20 PSI. It's actually about 20.
God, they're perfect.
So, perfect.
How much were they?
Can't remember, like $15 or something.
God, that's really good.
Tire deflators also came with some new caps, so I'm going to quickly fit those. 2 of your caps are missing, so that's perfect. Right, so the last thing that I want to just quickly test is these sockets. So I'm pretty excited about this because it means that I can use all my different sockets on the one drill. So I've got a 1/2 inch impact gun, and it's really handy because if I have to run a skinny long socket, which you shouldn't really use on an impact gun anyway. I've got a 19 in an impact gun, but sometimes these are too thick to get into the hole. For example, on a set of wheels like this, you can't get that into a lot of wheels. Then you have to use like a thinner socket. But because this is a 3/8 drive, I'll have to use the 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter, put it on like that, and all of a sudden you can use that on this gun. If you need a little bit more torque on a ratchet, you can then use that on a ratchet like that as well. So you can adapt all your different fittings. It even goes 1/4 to 3/8. So if I wanted to use my really thin tool here, I can put that on. So you can use all of these to adapt whatever which way you want. And it goes right up to 3/4, which is monstrous. So that's really cool. It also does the 1/2 inch to 3/4. So it makes the 1/2 inch gun a 3/4 rattle gun, which can be handy sometimes if you've got real big nuts. Right, well that's pretty much it, guys. We have tested everything except for the recovery gear, which we will be testing soon, I'm sure, especially when we're taking this car out. We're definitely going to try and get stuck in it. So in review, I think that we found a bunch of good products. My favorite would have to be the tire deflators, and my second favorite, which is a near close favorite, is the reverse lights, because I know how good they are at night to use. What's your favorite?
Yeah, I really like, I've used the reverse lights and the light bar already since last night, and they're great. But the one that shocked me was the tire deflator, how quick they were. I also really like the air compressor. I take the kids to the beach all the time, and I know we're going to use that a lot. So
make sure you download the app, jot our code into the search bar, and take advantage of the discounts that Teemu is offering. You guys can buy all the products that we have used today. The tire deflators will be up there. It'll all pop straight up on your screen.
Teemu has not just what we've shown you in this video, but a bunch more of other products that would be super useful, and we would love to test them out too. So
there's a ton more tools that I think I should go and buy right now on there. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next episode.
Ka-chow!